rather than feeling so communicative and busy with themselves, they're full of themselves today. We'll get these out of the way before I go get my granddaughter. So, 3 cards as usual. You decide past, present and future, or the situation, the best course of action and the outcome. 3 cards. Spirit please. Love and light. So we have the 10, which is an ending. We have the 64, which is the last card of the Ching, or the last hexagon, should I say. And the number 57. So, the external influence is the 29. So let's start with that 10 then. 10's usually an ending, but in I Ching, anything can happen. So it's being cautious is the tiger's tail. So again, those Leos and those born 1962. This is an ambivalent time, and it could be that everything is working out perfectly, or it could equally be that you find yourself beset by dangers and difficulties. The significance of this hexagon is its insistence that you behave conventionally. Whatever your circumstances, it's essential that your approach is cautious and non-controversial. If you fail to take into account the interests of others, then disappointment and failure is assured. Equally, you must not put the interests of others so high that those with lesser abilities take control of the situation. You need to make a positive, forward movement, but you can achieve this only by the most perfect of balancing acts. The ancient Chinese used the analogy of treading on a tiger's tail. It was regarded as highly inadvisable to face this tiger head-on. But in extreme circumstances, you might get away with treading on their tail. So maybe you feel like you can't face things head-on, which is why we keep getting stuck with the star card reversed. But there is a way. 64 is the way forward, or where we are now. Something is arriving. This is the arrival. There is fire and water, so fire signs and water signs, we've had this before. Both elements can move in their natural direction, fire upwards to the air and water downwards to the earth, without harming each other. There are differences which must be overcome if this situation isn't to break down altogether. So fire and water signs especially, if you're trying to make things happen, that's why. This is another example of essential ambivalence of ancient Chinese philosophy. In personal affairs, it is time of considerable change, and it is possible to realise your goals, but it won't be easy. You may have clear visions of where you want to go and how you're going to get there, but fate always has more in store than you bargain for. Arriving is rarely as straightforward as you imagine, and on this particular journey, you will unlikely arrive the same person that you set out on the journey as. So change needs to take place. And the outcome, a gentle wind. As Bob Dylan said, my answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Gentle wind below. The wind may indeed be gentle, but it is still able to reach into every nook and cranny, and you must approach these circumstances that surround you in the same manner as a gentle wind. You cannot achieve your aims by sudden or hurried moves. You must deal with the situation in a modest but consistent way. The key here is to take gradual steps towards your goal. This approach may be decidedly undramatic, but it will be the one that brings the best results. You need to know exactly where you're going and what it is you want to achieve. Then by going quietly and steadily, you can arrive at your destination, having moved towards it largely unnoticed. If you draw attention to your aims and behave rashly or impulsively, you will only find yourself thwarted. So like we said, you want to write a book, write a page at a time, one every day. And in 365 days, you'll have 365 pages wrote. The same applies to any situation. Do one thing every day towards your goal. And the external energy is the 29. And that's the abyss. This is one of only 8 double hexagons. The top and the bottom are the same. In this case, it represents water. The central lines held in check by 2 weak lines above and below. So as above, so below. Signifying a difficult time. This is the image of a gorge through which water, symbolising your energy or your chi, must flow. Clearly, you are in hazardous circumstances. This situation will require all the resolve you can muster and dictates that you deal with your affairs in an upright and honest way. This is not a time to try to slide around any challenges. You must face them head on. So, we have 2 conflicting ideas there. So that is probably what you're thinking. That is the external energy. That is what other people are telling you, not what I Ching suggests. So honesty, no matter what. It is not a time to be aggressive though. Instead, maintain a genuinely strong and steady approach. These moments, if dealt with correctly, can be very character building. So there is every chance that some good may come of them. So the external energies want to face this head on. Perhaps confront you. What you must do is be patient and take your time, no matter what they say or do to make you do otherwise. If someone, however, comes at you head on, then you must be honest in all that you say and do. Don't, whatever you do, backtrack and try to be dishonest, because it will come back on you, just like the tiger. Thanks for listening.